Welcome to my party. We're just getting started. A life is a dream.
Are Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige regretting their decision to bring back the Russo brothers? Is that really happening? Well, if you believe the rumors that are flying around the internet, that sounds like the case. As today we have breaking news from one of the most notable Marvel scoopers, My Time to Shine Hello, who posted on X today that they're hearing Feige and Marvel getting worried after seeing how bad the electric state is, and are starting to reconsider whether hiring the Russos was a mistake. You want to know if hiring the guys, the two directors, that gave you the pinnacle of Marvel in Captain America Civil War, the movie that most people consider a masterpiece, the pinnacle of Marvel, gave you the likes of Captain America Civil War. Okay, yeah, that one's not as well received as Captain America Winter Soldier, but it's still an okay movie, good, even by Marvel MCU standards. They gave you the juggernaut of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, bringing back to save the MCU after the abysmal showing the last handful of movies and TV shows have had. And when I'm talking Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I'm talking, Thor Love and Thunder. I'm talking Moon Knight. I'm talking the Marvels. I'm talking Miss Marvel. I'm talking everything that's come out post Spider-Man No Way Home, with the exception of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So you're telling me that because Electric State, the Russo brothers' most recent movie that is available now on Netflix, is getting absolutely demolished by critics on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, if you go to the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 15% for critics, 71% for audience members. So the key demographic, your audience member, are, generally well receiving Electric State. And you want us to believe that Marvel Studios is overreacting and ready to pull the plug on everything. Oh, we shouldn't have hired the Russos over reviews of this movie. Now, it's no secret that the Russos probably need Marvel just as much as Marvel needs the Russos, because their non-MCU movies over the last few years have not been the most well-received or highest praise. But if there's somebody who's going to get the MCU back on track, what are the directors out there that's going to do it if it's not the Russos? We're days, if not weeks, away from the start of filming on Avengers Doomsday. And you want us to believe that Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige are out here saying, hold everything, stop the presses, don't start production. We need to adjust this and rethink bringing back the Russos because critics are giving it a 15% rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes because some critics and some hard-nosed film enthusiasts are doo-dooing on this movie. Come on, man. Marvel Studios, even in their most desperate moment, aren't at that level yet. We're not talking WB and Warner, DC stance right now, where if Superman doesn't pan out, we destroy everything, we scrap everything, we start over. Oh no, this Superman is too jokey. Was James Gunn the right choice for this? I don't think Marvel's in that state yet. Do you? No, absolutely not. Marvel put so much stock in Taika Waititi, and that didn't turn out. Look at what happened to Thor Love and Thunder. Okay. And it happens. Not all movies are going to be winners. Thor Love and Thunder, by MCU standards, has a lot of issues, but I wouldn't call it the worst MCU movie. I'd look at Thor 2 for that. Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. I I don't understand what this overreaction is all of a sudden with these movies. I don't get it. TK says, I was thinking of watching Electric State tonight. I don't trust critic reviews. I liked Electric State. Is it a great movie? Is it a masterpiece, I should say? No, but it was fun for what it is. I describe it as Terminator meets Ready Player One. And I say that because it's a dystopian, science fiction film set in a war-torn 1997 where they have this massive robot uprising and this robot war, and everybody becomes too reliant on technology, and they start wearing these helmets to go into what is like VR, I guess, or I can't forget what they call the whole world in Ready Player One, but they allow you to connect to robots and everything gets super, robot-y and technologically dependent, I'll say. Did you say Love and Thunder was not that bad? No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad of a movie. But you want to tell me if these rumors are to be believed that all of a sudden the Russo brothers are ready, or not the Russo brothers, but Marvel is ready to hit the panic button and bail out because Electric State isn't like Oscar worthy. I don't see that being the case at all. It floors me the way that people are ready to hit the panic button about everything MCU related now. If it's the littlest thing they don't agree with, it's, oh my God, hit that panic button. We got to get out. Abort. Let's get rid of the Russos for this. Let's let them cook. We've seen the leaks. Okay. Now the Russos have come out and said those leaks are not from our movie. There's other scoopers that have come out and said those leaks were 3 years old. But we know we're getting Battle World. We know that they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr. They're bringing back Chris Evans. They're potentially bringing back Scarlett Johansson for these roles. We know from other leaks and rumors that have come out today that Robert Downey Jr. and even from the Russos themselves, they've confirmed that this Doom we're getting is not a Doom variant where, Tony Stark in our main MCU timeline was a version of Victor Von Doom who was put up for adoption or anything like that. That Tony Stark is Tony Stark, and this Victor Von Doom just has a striking resemblance to Tony Stark. And he's going to use that to his advantage to get on the good graces and kind of get the guard of our 616 heroes down to continue with his plan and to prevent incursions. And you're going to introduce the Dark Avengers team made up of the Avengers that we know. We're probably going to get, like I said, Hydrocap. We're going to get these versions of our Marvel main heroes to help Doom carry out his plan, to get our 616 Avengers off their game and have their guard down while Doom enacts whatever he's going to do in Battle World. I think just relax, calm down, let them cook. The Russos are the best choice for this. The MCU, it is what it is. I mean, when we post Endgame, Kevin Feige was out here tapping Rick and Morty writers like Jeff Loveless. And that didn't quite work out. And fans and critics alike didn't appreciate Loveless's work on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and they pulled the plug there. And you had another writer, and I think it's Michael Waldron, who had a big hand in Scarlet Witch, and that wasn't well received. Scarlet Witch and Doctor Doom and the Multiverse of Madness, that wasn't well received, but it is. And we heard that he was involved in Loki season 1, but later I found out that was very overstated. So Kevin Feige and Marvel took a different approach and turned back to the Russos. because they delivered 4 critically and commercial hits with Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Endgame. So we as fans are always quick to knee jerk. Just calm down, let them cook, and be excited about potentially what Doomsday is going to be. And Doomsday, the leaks, and all this stuff is doing nothing more than hyping me up to go back for the Russos to come back and for more out of this stuff. So I don't quite see Marvel firing the Russos right now over this, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Marvel's in trouble? Do you think that this is a knee-jerk reaction? Do you think they should go back to the drawing board, halt production, and say, wait, stop, no more, don't go any further on this movie, because 15% of critics, oh no, sorry, that's not right, because critics are giving their current film a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, we need to halt everything. Stop. We're spending millions of dollars on this movie. We need to stop it right now till we find new directors. Let's be honest. Let's be real. It's not going to happen. Let them cook, quit overreacting, and just enjoy the ride that we're being brought on right now. All right, moving on from that, we got some Spider-Man 4 rumors to talk about. There was a big rumor yesterday that Spider-Man 4 and Marvel Studios, Sony and Marvel Studios for Spider-Man 4, are casting a wide net for ages for a new Spider-Man female-centered villain. And I know what you're thinking. Sadie Sink. It's Sadie Sink. It's not Sadie Sink. Everything that's coming out, Sadie Sink is going to be Mary Jane. It is what it is. I talked about it in my last video of how I think it'll work, what they could potentially do, and why that too is something to throw your hat in the ring with and be excited about. The rumor states that there's no official word on who's playing this character, though the rumors and theories. Sorry, that's about Sadie Sink. So the person who's bringing these rumors out are Daniel Reitman, revealed that Marvel Studios is looking at actresses between the ages of 35 and 50 years old for a mystery baddie, suggesting they're casting a wide net. So I got to thinking, who could this be? What are we looking at? And the first thing that came to my mind is, well, we're Battle World. I talked about Battle World, the bringing back NJ to Battle World, reshaping reality on Battle World and the reality for Peter Parker. What if it's a female Dr. Octavius? Well, we've seen that. We saw it in Spider-Verse. If your kids watch or you watch Spider-Man Spidey Team on Disney Plus or Disney Junior, female Doc Ock there. But I don't think that's the case because we just had a Doc Ock in Spider-Man No Way Home. What other choices do we have? Well, if you're an avid fan of the comics, you know we get a female Electro. That's a possibility. But again, we had Electro in No Way Home. So I think that scratches out Electro. Well, what else do we have? What about Wraith? We could potentially see Wraith. If we're truly getting a street level story that's in this battle world, why not Yuri Watanabe? Why not Wraith? But is Wraith really big enough villain for this movie, to carry this movie? And she's this threat for Battle World. I don't know. Could we potentially see other options? I'm trying to think off the top of my head what other female options we could see in the MCU. What about Shathra? Now, Shathra is debuted in Amazing Spider-Man, and she was introduced as a wasp-like entity from the astral plane. So, are we going to keep maybe multiverse? She's from a multiverse plane, possibly. Do we get Spider-Woman? Do we get Charlotte Winters, Madam Web's granddaughter? I would say that's a possibility if Sony's Madam Web was any good and did anything. So then you look at Black Cat. Well, Black Cat has been talked about a lot, but that's a pretty wide age range for Black Cat. Females between 30 and 50 years old. Black Cat is relatively the same age as Peter Parker, I believe. So you kind of want to think that maybe you're going to cast somebody a little bit closer to Tom Holland's Peter Parker's age, college. We've heard a lot about and a lot of rumors around this movie being Spider Island. Spider Island. Well, what if we get Spider Queen? Potentially. Not bad. But do I want to see them do a Spider Island movie? I don't feel like it fits at this point. It doesn't fit the overall Doom, because we know this movie's set between Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. So it doesn't fit the overall theme to go Spider Island. But maybe this new New York is made in that image, and that's what Doctor Doom gives us the battle world is Spider Island. It could be the perfect fit for a multiverse tale. But you got to ask yourself, do you think it fits between what they're trying to do in Doomsday and what they're trying to accomplish in Secret Wars? I don't know. But there's another host of, we could get the Goblin Queen. We could get a female version of Hobgoblin. They could really gender bend any of Spider-Man's villains. Mr. Negative. Could be Mrs. Negative. I'm trying to think of what other female villains would be impactful villains in the Spider-Man Rogues Gallery that could potentially carry a movie. Not a lot comes to mind. We already saw Calypso. Black Cat's been talked about. Screwball White Rabbit. Okay. Cold Heart. Scorpia. We could see a female Scorpion because they haven't finished that off yet. I don't think it's going to be Silver Sable based on the casting. Maybe it's Anna Kravinoff. What if this leads to us finally getting... What if it's Anna Kravinoff and that leads to Marvel taking a shot at Kraven? Just say hypothetically for a minute, now that Kraven's on Netflix, Kraven gets this rejuvenation. I'm not going to say the likes of Morbius, because let's just say that movie, let's be honest, that movie's still a joke. But let's say for a moment, Anna Kravinoff is the villain. Kraven the Hunter gets this big rejuvenation for being on Netflix, and Sony says, you know what? Maybe it's time we try this with Spider-Man, and we give everyone what they want, and we get a Kraven's Last Hunt and Spider-Man 5 and 6, or just 5. I'm thinking Anna Kravinoff opens up a lot of doors, and it could be potentially very interesting. What about Bombshell? Don't know that she's strong enough to be a villain in a whole movie. So it's very interesting that they're going this way, and makes you really wonder who. Maybe we're getting a female Norman Osborn. Maybe we're getting a Green Goblin who's not Norman Osborn. Maybe we're getting a female Mysterio. I don't. My mind is running about who this could be, but based on the announcement for what they're casting, I would say that potentially Spider Queen is the safe bet on that front. But I don't know. I can't think of any other female Spider-Man villains that are going to be able to carry a movie like that. Now, could it be Black Cat? Yes. Could they just be casting that and putting that out there and throwing us off and saying, yeah, this is what we're looking for? Sure. Absolutely they can. But me being the Spider-Man fan I am, I want to think of who could it be? I gave you some pretty much named majority, other than symbiotes like Scream, the majority of female options in the Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below who you think the female villain of Spider-Man 4 will end up being. And if you're excited that that's the route they're going to go. Moving on here. Daredevil Born Again showrunner confirms that Muse will be a multi-season threat to Daredevil and Kingpin. And I'm glad to hear that, because I was kind of, after watching the most recent episode of Daredevil, we're on episode 4. We're only getting 9 episodes. I was a little worried, like, are they going to rush through this Muse thing? And Muse is just kind of starting to, reveal himself. And are they going to rush through the Muse storyline and make this villain again another rush job? So I'm glad to hear that Muse is going to be a multi-season threat, and it's just not going to be something that is rushed through. What else do we got today? I really think that's it. There's not a whole lot more coming out right now as far as rumors and spoilers and really noteworthy stuff. What else is there that you guys want to hear about? I think that's it. I think that's a good place to end this video, in this episode. Let me know if you guys are excited by the prospect of a female version of a villain leading and carrying Spider-Man 4. And let me know what you think about potentially Marvel ready to pull the plug on the Russos, or rumors that Marvel's ready to pull the plug on the Russos. I don't really think they are. I think the Russos are probably safe moving forward. But that does it for this episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast. Quick and sweet. I just wanted to kind of jump out here and talk a little bit about the Russo stuff. And hopefully next week, Lance will be back to join me. Until then, I want to say thank you guys for checking this out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out, so you know whenever we have more content ready to go on this channel. And we will see you guys next week.